Town done, it is time to make like a tree and head off to Neverland. I'm gonna go and correct the issue that I messed up in the last video, which is not having Brave Warrior on. So we're gonna go ahead and throw Brave Warrior on for now, which once again I do recommend being on after you fight Lock, Shock, and Barrel or before to maximize your DPS for the 3 cycle for Oogie. But let's go ahead and head off here to Neverland. Now, I think according to people's statistics, it's not official or anything, but they say that you can get hook shipped 70% of the time, while there's a 30% chance that you can miss them. I, however, just feel like that's more of like a 50-50, but it's really up to you to decide which one is right or not. But what happens here is that if we don't get hook shipped, which is like a random event, if we don't get it, we lose at minimum 45 seconds during the run, which in a casual playthrough means nothing, or a PB doesn't really mean much unless you're like really down on your PB times. Obviously, getting hook shipped just gives you additional 45 seconds for a PB, but you know, sometimes you can't control what the game wants to do to you. If you can PB, especially getting hook shipped, then you're definitely going to PB without, you know, let me correct that. If you can PB without getting hook shipped and you have to go all the way back to Atlantica and you lost 45 seconds, you could definitely PB once you do get hook shipped. But yeah, there's nothing you can really do right here other than just pray, man. We'll get it or we won't get it. And that's it. And I thought that went on for a little bit too long. But we got to Atlantica. Not a super big deal here. It happens. There's no way for you to control it. Just make sure you hit select world. And we should be guaranteed hook ships this time. However, there was one run where he didn't pop up twice. So it took me 3 times to get hook shipped. And at that point in time, if you're just beginning the speed run for the game, just go through with it because it's more important for you to get experience with everything rather than focus on one minute aspect of the run. But you know, once you get serious, especially with the PBs, then you know, you definitely want to hook ship as soon as possible. But it looks like we got him this time, which it happens, like I said before, it's bound to happen in one of your runs.
You don't say.
Alright, we are finally here in Neverland. Now, I'm not sure what they do in beginner, but I know from at least what I've learned is that we're actually going to go ahead and rob Peter Pan and give his ethers to Sora. And then we're going to head on our merry way. So you're going to jump on that part of the ship and then this part over here and take this door to the right. And we're going to jump down here. And I did the fire because Sora does like to clip on to one of the edges there, which will slow his fall because you can't fall down. So doing a fire will prevent him from doing that. You can do whatever magic that you want. Just happens that fire is usually my go-to at that point. And Neverland's fairly short too. What takes so long though in this run, especially on Proud at my level, is just Hook, really. I mean, Auntie Sora is Auntie Sora, but Hook just takes quite a long time because it's just a weird fight. But anyways, we're going to jump right here to the right one that is opened up. Touch the save point if you want. You don't have to. I just like to touch it because it's there and it's free. But we're going to go ahead and hit this right here to drop the ladder down so we can go fight Auntie Sora. And if you have pro gamer moves, you can just do a high jump and clip onto this ladder. But I don't have any pro gamer moves, so I have to just struggle like that. And I always blame Goofy because Goofy's always in my way when I do that. But next up is Auntie Sora. Good suggestion for him though is obviously not to get hit. But normally every 5 combos he'll kind of break out and do his own stuff. So do keep in mind about that. If you find that his copies are getting in your way, definitely apply Blizzard. If not, try and get as much damage out of him as possible and just pray. I really wish there was like a slap shot method to get through to this dude. He's breaking out. And Donald and Goofy are kind of messing with the damage on him. But that's why I love sliding dash. Make sure you heal. Because he hits like an F word. And there's not really anything you can do to really loop him. I know in beginner they hit him with stop, but we have too little MP to do that. And I'd much rather keep it if I need a cure. Yeah, I absolutely hate when he gets like this. Make sure you watch those copies too, because they will clap them cheeks. Not a bad fight, just make sure you know, especially as you get through your runs, to learn the power of Wishing Star. Because it does have a very short reach, and for some reason Auntie Sora's walking movement makes it really easy to miss him, even though he's barely moving at all. Good thing Sora got hit because I would have died there. Yeah, I was like, when is he coming up? Alright, so he is down. And next up is Hook. And we're just going to do a quick menu here. What I like to do is stop and then gravity, because we will be using that fairly quickly right here. I don't really change anything else other than Sora's equipment, where we're actually going to get rid of one of these guys and put on Raven's Claw. So it's going to be Brave Warrior. We're going to get rid of Brave Warrior and put on Raven's Claw and White Fang and keep Wishing Star up there, because even though we have Pumpkinhead, which has a longer reach, I've mainly seen Wishing Star used just because of its ability to do crits, which is more reliable with Slapshot than Pumpkinhead in itself. But we're going to go over here and save Wendy and get ready for our battle with Hook. Go over here and take this door right down the same hallway as your door. Go back up the ladder, and we're going to head out that entrance I tried to go through 2 seconds ago.
Quite a conflict.
Now in this fight for beginner, you just summon Simba because you have enough MP and damage to get away with it. But here we're really just going to attack the mobs. So what I like to do is switch out Goofy and put in Peter Pan. And we're going to try and dish out these mobs as quick as possible. You can do stop, but for some reason I feel like that encourages Peter Pan to do stop, which we all know that AI does stop at a terrible, terrible time. So try and take these guys out as fast as you can, because we do have a couple waves to go through. Try and capture these guys, even though they just want to waste people's time. And if you want to stop these guys, it's definitely not a bad idea. Make sure you're healing. Make sure you're healing. That's the #1 way to die in any run, is ignoring your HP because you want to get another hit off. Now with the ship right here, I'm going to cast Stop on it, and I like to do Gravity twice because that's going to deplete a big portion of its HP, and with a combo or two, once Stop is done, it should go down, and that'll get rid of this annoying being. Just like that, that one's out. So is that Sky Pirate, and we just have that one left. Which once again, I said I try to not do Stop because like it's for some reason just encourages Peter Pan to do it, and he never does it at the right time. But next up is Hook. Now this fight is very weird. But what I just did right here was I left the area so when or if I die, I don't have to restart that whole entire wave part. We can just go right back to Hook. Why they make it like this, I don't know. That's just how it is. But it's a good thing to have because you're going to lose a lot of time, especially if you die here, if you have to fight through those waves of Heartless again. But yeah, here's Hook. They also do a stop loop on him in beginner, but we don't have that luxury of MP. But I will say make sure you have Slapshot on and Sliding Dash for this fight. That is my go-tos. And also make sure you just don't hit him off like I just did right here. We want to keep him up here as much as possible. But I was talking at the same time. I need to experiment though. I was curious to see if there's some type of thing I could do with Slapshot, like we do with Oogie. Now he's getting enraged here. This is where Sliding Dash comes in handy because we can deflect his what I like to call R's with ease, and it does damage him. It causes chip damage, but hey, damage counts. So do finishers if you can, if it's safe to do so. But don't rely on him too much because you don't want to knock him off. And he's always going to do his R's 3 times. So make sure you're sliding dashing into him that amount of time. The timing on it isn't hard at all either. But I'm trying to do Slapshot to get some damage off on him without making him go away. I just like to slide dash right into him just like this. If you see the crit though from Slapshot, its damage is actually insane. Alright, so he's enraged, which sucks. There's nothing we can do, but slide dash right into him. And he's down. That honestly wasn't a bad hook with me attempting like to use Slapshot as my primary means of damage. So do take note of that. Slapshot him as much as you can. Hold off on finishers unless you know that they won't whiff him off of the ship. And that should be Hook. I don't recommend using the stop strat on Hook for the simple fact that we don't have enough MP to constantly do that and make it worthwhile. And I really don't want to burn any items here if I can, because we need those for later. But with Hook down, we can come over here and get this clock lined up. Skip these cutscenes. And also, right before we leave, we're going to pick up, I believe it's the Fire Ruggagy, or the, yeah, it's the Fire Ruggagy, I believe, for the Gummy Ship, which is going to make us to be speedy mixed speedsters, since the whole point of this run is to try and be the fastest gamer. We got Tinkerbell as well, which we won't be using her throughout this run. But I know she's using level 1, I believe, at some point in time, but don't quote me on it. And I actually lied, it's Flare-G, not Fire-G. But we're going to go up over here to the save point. And right here is big menu time. We're going to go to equipment. We're finally getting rid of Wishing Star because the gap between Wishing Star and also Fairy Harp is just, it's too great. It is just too great. So we're leaving Wishing Star alone. It's up to you if you want to use Pumpkinhead, but I have just learned just to keep Wishing Star. I've never actually tested Pumpkinhead to see how viable it was. I've just been going off what I've seen before from the experts. But we got Sora fully equipped out, which is nice. And next we need to go over here to his abilities. And we are going to put on Hurricane Blast. Make sure you have R's, and if you don't have guard up there already, make sure it's up there. We have guard. There's nothing you really need to do for these guys either. I mean, you could, I guess, put tornado and cheer on Goofy, but I don't really mess with this menu too much at this point in time, since they're going to be doing chip damage anyways. But make sure you have glide on Sora. And yeah, that is it. It's time to hit the gummy ship. There's a fighting tournament being held somewhere, so we're going to go ahead and add that Flare G to our gummy ship and get rid of that Fyra. Hit that start menu to get out of that menu, save it, and our gummy ship is fully decked out for the next adventure. However, we do have to head back to Traverse Town though and tie up some loose ends there, which is fight opposite armor, which we could have fought opposite armor before we went to Agrabah, but due to us being just at a hellishly low level, it's obviously just not recommended. Alright you guys, I had to add this in as an afterthought because I've done something that I do on like all my runs unless I have a split for it, which I do, and that's to go over here and get Dumbo. So we're going to get Dumbo and then we're going to head to opposite armor. It's fairly simple. I mean, we just come over here, talk to Fairy Godmother, we warp back out and we go see Sid, but I had to include this because it's just something that I forget for some reason. Like I always get Dumbo from Monstro, but when it comes to getting him being able to be summoned, I just forget that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and include this and we're gonna keep on going, especially on Proud. So we can go right here to the accessory shop. We don't have to talk to Sid either, we can just go directly to the bell, which we already know we need to go to. And to get over there, what I like to do, runners do other things differently, so find out what works for you. I like to hop over here to boots and shoes though, and try and grab over here to handbags and do a high jump and hopefully clip onto this part. Sometimes I get it first try, sometimes it just never happens for whatever reason. But we got up there, just glide over here, and we're gonna glide over there. Some people take the other Dalmatian way, where that ladder is, to the right of me, right here, and go up that way, so they go a little bit lower, but I just like to go this way. Trying to get rid of all these guys though. I did pull some Nocturnes over, which sucks, but you know, I could have went faster. But we're gonna ring this bell 3 times and get opposite armor out here. Which, by the way, at this level now, especially with our equipment, is quite a breeze. So he's just here to eat up time, basically. Alright, so we're going to dodge roll down. We've already checked our equipment, so we can just run right into this battle. I don't know why I guarded there. You can just attack him, because he's going to fall to the ground anyways. Oh no, he went down. If only the first guard armor went like this. But here, what you can do is time your guard, and that will deflect one of his legs. And what I try to do is a second guard, but usually it never sticks. I'm surprised it stuck that time. But with that second guard, you would do another R's, and that should take out another piece of him. And after that, it's pretty much just aerial game. Obviously, pick off his parts as fast as possible. If you can get them together while you do it, that's even better. But definitely not a hard fight. There's no technicalities or anything going on in here. Just make sure you hit him in the face though. his body doesn't count anymore. It's his face that really takes the damage. So if he's at like 1 HP and he's not dying, hit him in the face. But we got that thing finally done for Sid. And we could be on our way to Hollow Bastion. Make sure you're hitting that triangle and X. And he's got a gummy ship decked out, so we are raring to go to the end game of this KH1 standard / proud speedrun. So we're going to go over here to the save point. I'm going to end the video here, you guys. That ends this segment here for Neverland and Traverse Town 3. I will see you guys in the next one, where we go ahead and tackle on Hollow Bastion 1, which will actually be a very, very meaty video. So until next time, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.